Hello students, welcome to the course of the data structure. The book we will use for this course will be data structure. The very important book is the Shams series. Shams series books contain all the information, all the chapters, all the course contents that is needed for the data structure course. So you can follow this particular course. The data structure course, this is very important subjects as we have already studied the C++ and C language in the previous semester. I have already taught that particular course to you guys. In that we have seen the particular sequences, the condition statements, the for loop statements, the functions and arrays. But that that techniques was still enough for the foundation of the programming course, but here we will study the particular problem solving techniques that see the organizations of the data that is very important in every organization for you guys. So therefore in this course we will study the basic concepts, basic techniques that will helps you a lot for what the coming courses, like the analysis of the algorithm, like compiler constructions, like the artificial intelligence, like the computer graphic courses. So these techniques will help you to understand those courses and helps you to improve your problem solving skills. The goal of this course is to prepare the students in the more advanced material the student will encounter in later courses. The cover known data structure here, the major data structure we will study is the arrays, the linked list, the stakes, the queues, trees, and graph. And we will also see how these tools, how these methods will help the problem solving skills. So and we will also implement, we will not only study the concept, these concepts, but we will also implement it in programming language. So here it's not decided yet that whether we will take the final term exam or midterm exams, but based on the Ministry of the Higher Education criteria, later on we will decide either I will assign you a project, either I will assign you the assignment, and then you will continue your work for that. Now, what is data structure? Data structure means the organized way to manage your data is called data structure, or the technique which is used to structure the data is called the data structure. Another definition is the an organized connection of values and the set of operations on them is called the data structure. I will give you an example, then you will come to know what is this data structure and what is the meaning of organization of the data. Let's suppose we have a library. In a library, if we have 1000 books of computer science and the books are not sorted in a proper form and all the books are just like a mess up, and if I told you go and find the introduction to computer science written by Aisha Sultan and Amina Nudrat, and if I told you to find this book in the library, as the books are not properly organized, they are not properly sorted, so it is very difficult for you to find the book. Either maybe depending upon your luck, you have searches for almost 50% of the book, then you find the introduction to computer science book, or depending upon your luck, you will find it after 25% of searching of the book, you find it, or you finish searching of all the book and in the last you find out the introduction to computer science book. So depending upon your luck, then when you are going to find this book, but as you don't have any proper technique to find out the book because the books were not properly sorted in the library, so that's why you feel difficulty to find out the data, the particular introduction to computer science book. Now the same thing, it happens in the computer system. In the computer system, we normally deal with our data. If the data is not properly managed, then it is difficult for us to store our data. It is difficult for us to retrieve our data back. It is difficult for us in order to insert the new data into the system. And it is very difficult for that to finding out the data and then deleting the particular data. Then these type of So let's begin. The first operation is the traversing. Traversing means accessing each record exactly one time so that it may be processed. For example, if you have 100 records in your data, so you should know the total number of record, you should know the exact values of each record. Traversing mean visiting each record exactly at least one time. Mean one time you should access each record one time. This is called traversing. Searching means finding the record on their given location, on a given key value. For example, I need record number 5. So the address for this one is 5. So on record number 5, I will go on the address of the record number 5 and I will search my particular record. Insertion means adding the new record to the data structure. This is very simple. Deletion means removing the record from the data structure. Insertion mean on the particular address add the new value. Deletion mean from that particular address delete the value from the database. Sorting mean arranging the record in some logical order, like ascending order, like descending order. This is called sorting. Merging mean combining the two records, 3 up to n record. This is called the merging. Now, types of the data structure. The basic type of the data structure are linear data structure, non-linear data structure, physical data structure, logical data structure. So the first type of data structure is the linear data structure. Linear data structure means the structure in which the data is organized in a single row or single column is called the linear data structure. The example for this one, if we look at this particular slide, here the data is organized in row form. Name, age, gender, social security number, mean ID number. The value is the name field, value is the John Brown, age is 34, gender is male, and this is the ID number. Here, if you look at here, I can do what I can is here the data is organized in row form. I can also organize it into the column form. So here, this is called linear data structure. Linear means just one direction. I can map my data in row form or I can map my data in column form. So it doesn't create any problem for me. So this particular data structure is called the linear data structure. Non-linear data structure, the structure in which the data is organized in hierarchical form, is called non-linear data structure. For example, two-dimension array. If you remember the previous course, this was the introduction to programming. We have studied one-dimension array, two-dimension array. One-dimension array was called linear data structure. We have already done the coding for the one-dimension array, and we have stored our values in that, and then we output those values. Non-linear data structure mean, I will give you the example for this one is table. Table is a very good example for the non-linear data structure, like matrix. So non-linear mean in which has more than one dimension, started from 2 up to n dimensions. This is called the non-linear. In this course, we will study the two-dimension arrays. We will study also the trees, some graphs, and so we will study in the later on courses. So you will see that particular thing. Next is the physical data structure. Physical data structure means it is concerned with the actual storage of the data. Like one-dimension array is stored in the computer memory sequentially, it seems. Physical mean actual storage of the data. Actual mean the actual storage of the data. If we concentrate on this, it means the original shape of the data in physical form. But that is quietly visible. That is the 0 and 1. 0 and 1. So logical data structure. Logical data structure, it is concerned with the logical representation of the data, a part of their physical shape. It means whatever we are seeing on the computer system screen, this is called logical. If we go toward the physical shape of this data, it will be in the binary form, a long stream of zeros and ones. So that long stream of 0 and 1 is called physical data structure. And whatever visible to us, this shape is known as the logical data structure. As we look at the screen we have the PPT. In the PPT, we have the text. So the text we are seeing, this is called logically. But if we look at the actual representation of this text, that it will be a long stream of zeros and one. That is called the physical data structure. Now again, some basic definitions for the data structure. We know this thing, our binary language is started from zeros and one. So 0 is a single bit, 1 is the single bit. So when 8 bits are combined, it gives us 1 byte. 1 byte or several bytes, it represents a character. So what is character? A smallest piece of information in the record is called the character. It can be a numeric, it can be an alphabet, it can be a symbol. These are all called character. So when the characters are combined, it gives us the one particular field. One field, what? It contains one field basically means, like if we have the Excel. So in Excel, if we concentrate on that particular small house or small, what do you call it, the small, yeah, that small cells, that is called cells. So that's, each cell is called a field. Each cell is called the field. So this field contain what? This field contain the particular data. It represents the data. So what is data? Data are simply collections of the values or set of values. What is data item? A data item refers to the single unit of values. Single unit of values. For example, as we have seen in this particular example, this example here, look at here, this is one data item, this is one data item, this is one data item. Total there are 4 data items. These are, each is called, this is a separate field, this is a separate field, this is a separate field, this is a separate field. When these fields are combined, it gives us one record. You getting my point? It gives us the one record. When the records are combined, it gives us one file. When the files are combined, it gives us the database, a complete database. It makes us the database, or the database is the collection of files. Files can be about anything. So if we look at this one again, this is the name John Brown. Now John Brown itself, if we look at here in the database, we call it entity. What is entity? Entity is something about which the organization wants to maintain the data. This is called entity. For example, John Brown is the BCS class student. There is no, here we have one record only. If we have, let's say, 10 records of the students, the entire 10 students will call the entity set because they share the same class. So what is entity? Entity is something that has certain attributes or property which may be assigned value, as we have seen. What is entity set? Entity set, those entities which share the same class, that is known as the entity set. Okay, information, data, we know this data is the raw collection of fact and figure, that is called the, which we cannot take the decision on that. That is called data. But when the data is processed and we can take the decision on that, we is called the information. Information means meaningful or processed data. Field, as we have seen, the field is a single elementary unit of the information representing the property of the entity. Record is the collection of field value. When the records are combined, it gives us the file. When your files are combined, it gives us the entire database. So file is what? File is the collection of the record, and every record has a unique identity number that is called the primary key for that. No, this is the physical